So the LAMH team are back, and yep, that's us on episode 5 now. This is not a drill. Where's the time went, let's say. We've had so much fun writing, recording the past 4 episodes, and we're talking about important topics relating to mental health. We've also had a number of professional and personal journeys in relation to mental health as well, and we've been really glad to have this podcast here as that platform for people's voices. And hopefully there's many more to come.
Yes, hello everyone. So yeah, I'm back. The weeks have flown by. I can't believe this is episode 5 already. It seems like this was just our wee dream just yesterday.
I was thinking that. It was like around about Christmas time, just before Christmas. We released the first episode, and
I think we've been talking about this for a lot longer, but it's crazy to think that we're on episode 5 and already in the works of episode 6.
We're here now, and I'll pass on a personal thanks for coming in today as well, because I know it was Michelle that was going to be recording today, but unfortunately she wasn't able to make it, so thank you for filling in. And yeah, you familiarised yourself with the content.
That's all right. Any chance for a feature, I'm quite happy to come along.
So we are working behind the scenes, when and where we can as a team. We're trying to plan the future of the LAMH podcast in terms of important points for future episodes and also guest appearances, such as last week when we had Lorraine on from Stigma Free Lanarkshire. I can certainly see why people do this as a full-time job. There's a lot going on, but we thoroughly enjoy doing it, so it doesn't feel as overwhelming, and our enthusiasm is still very much there for the future of this podcast. So just a wee quick plug of the first 4 episodes. And these are available on Spotify, Amazon Music and YouTube. If you've not had a chance to listen to them yet, or maybe you loved them that much you want to listen to them again, then they're out there, available on those streaming platforms that I've just mentioned.
So I'm super excited for our future episodes. We've got some great kind of topics coming up over the next couple of months and some guests. And as Jamie said, if you've not had a chance to listen to the past episodes, please do. Or even, re-listen to them, like I said as well, because sometimes it's just giving it a good listen and you'll connect with something, and that might be the thing that helps you.
Yep, absolutely. So a wee overview of today's episode. As you may or may not know, this month, April 2025, is officially Stress Awareness Month. Therefore, Lucy and I will be discussing the concept of stress and the importance of managing this in our day-to-day lives. To help with this, we will be joined by Sakoon Mind later today. Now, listeners of episode 4 might be thinking, hold on a minute, that rings a bell. If so, then yeah, fair play. Thank you for listening to the last episode, because as you'd have heard, Lorraine from Stigma Free Lanarkshire project had mentioned last time about working closely with Sakoon Mind, and since then I know our colleague Michelle, she'd followed this up and chatted with the ladies to see a bit more about what they're doing in the community, and I invited them on to this episode of the podcast. Yeah,
from what I heard, they had a great wee meeting online and a good chat about what's going on with them. I've also had a wee look at their website, and they're offering lots of great services to the community, and I'm actually really excited to see what else they're working on and what's happening with them.
It should be good. That's going to be very informative, so definitely stay tuned to hear a bit more about the great work that this charity is doing. The guests are coming thick and fast, and hopefully this is helping to highlight those different support services that are near you in the community with the potential to tap into them. But first, as we mentioned before we got into that aspect, we are going to focus on the idea of Stress Awareness Month. The theme for this month, as published by the Stress Management Society, is #LeadWithLove. So it makes sense to discuss the idea of showing, this sense of trust, compassion, resilience to not only other people, but also starting to show these things to ourselves in our day-to-day lives. Yeah,
I think stress is something that everyone can relate to. If not now, then at some point in your life. We don't really need to label it specifically as either anxiety or depression, but I feel that everyone can remember a time where they've felt stressed, and that stress went to the point where it's taken over, in fact ruined, your whole day, week, month. It's just, it can show up at any time.
Yeah, it can just come out of nowhere, and as you said, there's no kind of one thing that causes stress for everybody. It can just have this overwhelming feeling. Even when we wake up in the morning, we're not able to put a finger on what it is, but it's something that everybody will probably experience at some point in their life.
Yeah. I think something, when we're talking about stress or kind of anything to do with our mental health, is to acknowledge the fact that you probably find yourself giving yourself a hard time, beating yourself up about how you're reacting to things or what's happened or whatever it may be, just wanting things to be different and overall being your own worst critic. And that's no help to us when we're already feeling this way. So it just comes back around and causes even more stress, and you're caught in a cycle.
That's the cycle again, the things that we're saying to ourselves, it impacts how we're feeling, impacts our behaviour, and yeah, there's not one situation that's going to cause this, as mentioned previously on the podcast. So there's more than one ways to cope with stress as well. Again, not one size fits all.
Definitely. I think it's that idea of understanding that you're going to find something for you and, you know, not totally stopping yourself when these feelings start coming at you, but instead having those tools to be able to manage them when they do come. Because, you know, let's just face it, you know, in life, things are going to happen that we're not prepared for. We can't wake up each day and go, my day is going to go like X, Y, and Z. And, you know, life has that way of laughing at us and throwing something in our way. So it's basically, like we say, just about realising we're human, giving ourselves that breath and using these coping strategies to help us move forward as well.
We'd love that crystal ball, wouldn't we? We'd love to have that wee magic one just so we know we're going to get to the end destination where we want to get to. But there's still steps that we can take a bit of control of in terms of working our way towards those end goals. And you just touched on the fact that, yeah, we're human. It's allowing ourselves to be human. I think the idea of noticing that your mind is going to wander off from the past, of wanting things to be different, into the uncertainty about the future. You know, that realisation that you're here, you're present, this is the starting point, because this is the moment that we can control and start to make those changes in our life in terms of moving in the direction we want to be moving in.
I feel like I'm going to have to stop you again from giving teasers of future episodes away. Dropping into mindfulness there. I
mean, we need to get a wee short episode or something along those lines, because I can't hold my water anyway.
Might do like mindfulness taster coming soon.
Yeah, I'll do a wee promo or something.
Yeah, watch out in the socials.
Yeah, that could be in the works. It's so difficult because I feel like it is kind of laced in everything that we do. That idea of noticing our mind wandering off and trying to ground ourselves in that present moment, trying to focus on what we're able to control that day, making sure we're equipped with those coping strategies before we leave the bed in the morning, before we leave the house, you know, making sure that whatever's going to come our way, we're in a position where we feel able to deal with it.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. It's that sort of noticing how you feel when you wake up, and then not just checking in with yourself in that morning, but checking in with yourself throughout the day. It's that sort of almost like a plan review thing where, you know, as the day's going on, giving yourself these anchors in the day to check in, you know, whether it's your breakfast, lunch and dinner or whatever it may be, just to make sure that you're actually doing all right, you know. So just if you're out there and maybe the day's feeling on toppy, just remember to stop yourself, take a break, take a breath, and just ask yourself, how are you actually feeling within that moment?
Because mood passes, you know, that's one of the things we say in the office quite a lot, is it will pass. Mood fluctuates. 1 minute we're up, 1 minute we're down. It's about making sure we're keeping up with that, and we're recognising where we are throughout the day, recognising our capabilities, what we feel capable of, and what's going to be too overwhelming for us, and how we can manage that. So we also use this analogy. First thing you do before you go on a building site, you put your hard hat on, not because something's going to happen, but it could. And if so, you're more protected. As we said, before you wake up in the morning, getting out of your bed, you know, making sure you're checking in with yourself, putting your hard hat on, tapping into that aspect of self-care to help make that day feel a bit more manageable. So I know, as I said, that's one of the skills we're talking about in our new Decider skills group. I don't know, is that something you've tapped into yet, Lucy?
I've used a couple of them, Fed scale and all that sort of stuff, but I'm looking forward to kind of using it more and more as time goes by and getting more familiar with it, because there's some good wee things in there. You mentioned earlier on about the importance of your toolbox, almost that toolbox in your mind to, you know, not one coping strategy is going to be able to be used for every situation, but it's about knowing what's in there to be applied into different situations, and you can never have too many things in order of coping strategies to find ways to manage different situations that are going to come our way. That's the thing, it's like you might find one thing that works for you, you might find it all works for you, it doesn't matter as long as you've got your own tools. Absolutely. So yep, time for a wee break now before we speak to our guests from Sakoon Mind. So yep, stay tuned for that one.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris Simpson. I work for NHS Lanarkshire as part of the Health Improvement Team. As part of my role, I'm helping the Health and Social Care Partnership implement a community-led support approach in South Lanarkshire. One example of implementing a community-led support approach is through creating spaces to talk opportunities. This will allow community members to have informal conversations to address health and social care issues with services in a community space. The work is going to take place at the Bunbank Community Hub in the Gilmer and Whitehill Parish Church in Hamilton. On the first Friday of the month, so that's the 4th of April, the 2nd of May and the 6th of June, we have the opportunity to speak to Money Matters, social work and housing. On the 25th of April, the 16th of May and the 20th of June, you have the opportunity to speak to Turning Point, Lanarkshire Association for Mental Health and NHS Health Improvement. All opportunities will be on a Friday from 10 AM to 1 PM. Please feel free to drop in and speak to the services or just grab a cuppa at the Bunbank Community Hub.
And welcome back. Just to touch on information that you would have heard there, the Whitehill and Gilmore Church run a cracking hub on Fridays from 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock. Cups of tea, bowls of soup, social connections, non-referral food parcels, the lot. It's a great setup they've got going up there. They're teaming up with the Health Improvement Team, as you would have heard, who have contacted several different services, including their own, to set up some information stalls. So if you're free, pop down for a chat. You're most welcomed, and we will have the opportunity to meet a whole host of new people. So don't be a stranger. Please look at the description in the podcast, or if you're watching on YouTube, the image should be available on the video for a visual aid to the information regarding the when, where and who of this fantastic resource. Guest time now. So as promised, we have the privilege to welcome Taj and Sandeep from Sakoon Mind. Lovely to have you here, ladies. How's things? How's your day been?
It's been good, yeah, all good. Flowing. We've been so excited to come and talk about our journey and our charity. It's good. It's a good energy.
Yeah, is podcasting something you have done before? Is that something?
No, this is the first time we've done a podcast.
Time.
Okay.
Yeah, first time.
Quite excited about it.
You'd mentioned as well coming up the stairs, you'd said you'd done some radio performances before. So
we've been on the radio, yeah. We have just once.
We've been on Shire Radio, and we've got a couple more. I think Awaz Radio. So yeah, we're excited, and this is good. I'm liking this.
It's not live, so it's quite, we've got editing that can help us.
It's a good wee setup we've got here. So I'm guessing you are just kind of doing the rounds now to try and get the word out about the work you are doing in the community with Sakoon Mind.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. We want to put the awareness out there about mental health, especially in the South Asian community, because it's quite stigmatised. Mm-hmm. That was the base of it. That's what we started off doing. But now that we've realised it's for everyone. Yeah,
and you mentioned that term stigma. We had Lorraine on from Stigma Free Lanarkshire on episode 4, and she said she's been working with yourselves.
Yeah, we've done a few events with Lorraine. We just did one a couple of weeks back. It was at the local Gurdwara.
Okay.
That's where we worship. That was a really big one. So Lorraine was there from Stigma Free Lanarkshire, and then we had Jenny Hutton.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's NHS Mental Health.
Okay.
And we had Cabia from Airdrie. They were there too, yep.
Brilliant. No, that sounds like a really kind of nice networking event, and that's how you get to know different people, different services near you, because there's this kind of common goal that we are all working towards, no matter the community, the background that we have. You mentioned the term kind of stigma, so that's what we're working towards. So are you okay to tell us a bit about how you go tackling stigma and supporting mental health with your charity?
Yeah, well, basically just putting the word out there. I think just talking about it, having the conversations, describing like what mental health is. I think a lot of people, as soon as they hear the word mental, they go on different ideas, different things. They don't really think. And just explaining to them like what mental health is, I think that helps. And and everybody has it. Some people have good mental health, some people have bad mental health. So it's just to put the word out there that it's okay to sit and talk and share your feelings, share your emotions and stuff like that.
And I think the events that we've had, the workshops, like who've had the food there, and the conversations about mental health, and people are relaxed, and and they all get together, and it just gives them that hope that we can speak about it. We're having this discussion, we're having this conversation. It's okay to talk about it. It builds a wee bit of confidence.
Yeah, creates that kind of welcoming environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like not clinical at all, just a nice environment where people can come along and maybe be a bit more kind of social about it.
I think the food helps as well.
Yeah.
That's a good wee touch.
Yeah,
it's a nice touch.
at the end, just to...
Everybody just loves, everybody loves a samosa, actually. So that's what we've based ours around, is giant samosas.
Yeah.
That's for Asians, that's our comfort food.
Okay.
So we thought, why not put it out to everyone?
Yeah.
So the last event we had, it was a giant samosa. It was in Motherwell, and that went down so well. And we've been asked to do more of them kind of events.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And yet you haven't brought any samosas today.
Oh, do you know what we should have? I didn't even think of that.
I should have found a way to do a supported connection down to the next one.
Definitely.
Next time, definitely.
How did Sakoon Mind start? It's a fairly new charity that you've started up. How did that all go about?
I think our journey started when the three of us were going through our own mental health journey, and we used to have a weekly or a 2-weekly coffee therapy session where we'd meet up and we'd just talk about our own feelings, emotions, and some days how we were not able to take on challenges, and we were kind of feeling a bit mentally down and things like that, and we shared ideas and things like that, and our journaling and things like that. We'd take techniques away and we'd try them for a week, and then we'd feed back to each other again after a week or 2 weeks, when we went for the next coffee therapy session. And we felt changes. We could see that these things were working. And we were just looking at life and challenges as a different way of how to tackle them, or how we were looking at them more positive.
Yeah.
You know, and our energy and our vibe was another level too. So it was a positive impact, these coffee therapy sessions that we were having. And then we used to talk and be like, say you're on a journey and, you know, you start and you're at number 1, and then after a couple of sessions, you're at number 5.
Yeah.
So there's how do I say this? It's a good thing. You went from 1 to 5.
Yeah.
The energy's different. You know, you can see there's a positive impact. What we were feeling, we were like, you know, see if we could put that in a wee pill and give it to everyone so that they could feel like that too. That's what we felt.
So
and
that kind of recognising those steps.
Yeah.
And as you said, it all started with just a kind of social coffee morning.
It
with
just
friends.
started, and then our frequency started changing as soon as our frequency was getting higher and higher and higher, and that's when people started noticing around us, like you're on a different level, what's happening. It all started with self-development. After coffee therapy, then we started doing a lot of reading.
Yep.
I was reading like a book a week.
Okay.
Self-development books.
Brilliant.
Yep.
And that's it. And we used to like Amazon, and me and Sandy was like, I've read this book, you need to buy this.
We were sharing these little
resources and stuff.
The club as well.
We did so many books in that time. I mean, our self-development journey's been going on for like about, I would say, nearly 6-7 years.
Yeah.
So it's not an overnight thing.
Yeah. I think when you find something that helps you as well, and you know you've got people that you care about, you want to help them as well.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's when I come back to the thing. That's what I was thinking last night. It's like if you could put all that stuff that you've learned, the knowledge and the wisdom and the you know, the tools and techniques, if you could put that into a pill and just give it to one person and say, it's okay, I know how you feel, we've been through this, but I think we can you know, find a wee solution to it. It's absolutely amazing. It just nourishes your soul.
And there's so many different self-development ways as well. Like we started with reading. We like reading, so we found that okay, but a lot of people don't like reading. Yeah. So audiobooks, they're amazing.
Yeah.
And they're just as good.
And journaling.
You know, journaling's
that
quite
can be a good, powerful thing to be able to do, is reflecting on
your own self, your own emotions, writing stuff down and say, why am I feeling like that? Did that person trigger me there, or did something happen there? Or, you know, am I not feeling good up here? Why? Just writing things down and then looking back and going, wait a minute, and then finding a, you know, when you're not talking to yourself, when you're journaling and you're looking at what you're writing down and saying, wait a minute, there's a wee solution to that, and I feel much better now that I've got that out.
You've wrote it down.
Yeah.
We always say that in groups as well. Like instead of trying to think your way out of something, which will take you down 10 different paths, write it out, and it's actually there in front of you.
It works. It's really, really powerful. It really, really works. And do you know what? You're actually giving space up there to your mind. You're getting it all out on the journaling and the paper, and then you can work on yourself by feeding your mind on a daily basis with positive affirmations.
Affirmations are really good. Me and Sandy find them great.
Absolutely.
And another thing that I've realised as well, like a lot of us do, is when we're scrolling. But see, all mass scrolling on mass social media is all to do with positive stuff.
Absolutely.
Like I've probably subscribed to all the positive things, and so instead of like going through
things
reels
that make you feel better,
I think that really helps. Instead of looking through other people's reels and feeling bad, I wish my life was like this.
You start, it's your time and the things that you want to see. You want to look at positive stuff, and you start, it's a pattern. You just start getting used to it, just like brushing your teeth or cleansing your face or whatever. You know, you start getting used to doing these things in your daily routine, and it helps. It's absolutely amazing. It really, really helps.
And I think reels, like, because everybody does watch them, and I think the positive reels are one of the best things to do.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you come off your phone and then you're so positive, you're like, okay.
And your state of mind starts going into a peaceful mind, and that's where Sakoon mind came from. Peaceful mind. Because when you've got a peaceful mind, you've got focus, you've got clarity, and you can. Maybe before, when you didn't have that focus and clarity and you couldn't focus on those 3 challenges that were coming your way, you can focus on them and you overcome those challenges and you're on to the next and next. It makes life easier, and your mind's not
it's not that cluttered.
It's not cluttered. That's the word I'm looking for. Absolutely.
And I noticed on your website you are running some sessions, some support sessions, some support groups for people who are struggling with their mental health. Is that what is involved in those sessions, and how can people find out about those? So
we're doing workshops, different kinds of workshops, all to do with mental health wellness. So we're doing like meditation, Reiki, arts and crafts, anything that takes your mind off of your worries and stuff for a little while. And puts your mind into that peaceful state.
Okay.
Because even if you give yourself 2 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, and just if you can meditate, that's very powerful in the morning. morning to reprogram your mind. If you can just sit in a comfortable place with a cup of tea and just close your eyes and switch off for 2 minutes a day, that's like a wee energy.
You're giving time for you, aren't you? It's like a kindness for yourself.
Absolutely. You're important. If your cup is full and you do you're going to help someone else. You can be ready for, you can be there for your children, your family member, and say, hey.
Yeah, that's that kind of famous quote, isn't it? When the airplane is about to take off and they give the emergency announcement, if in the escape of an emergency, please fix your own oxygen mask before fixing anybody else's. And it's important because
definitely.
A lot of people, I know a lot of people say sometimes, oh no, I'd put them on my kids first, I'd put them on them first. But if they're struggling to put their mask on and you go to help, then you're struggling.
Absolutely.
That's kind of, you need to look after other people, you need to look after yourself.
You need to look after number one, definitely.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's energy. See, if you're programmed and you're ready to take on your day, your energy, people pick up your energy. It flows. So if you've got a positive mindset and you're ready to go for the day, like, Mum's feeling good. The kids will pick up, they'll be like, Mum's got a good energy on her. She's ready. That's good. I want to be around her. It's energy.
It's like equipping yourself with those tools when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Be able to cope with what's going ahead.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The first thing, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is thank you. And even when I'm lying in my bed, it's just thanks. And then when I go to sleep, the last word is thank you as well. So I think as soon as you wake up and you have some positive thoughts,
absolutely. Gratitude's the most powerful thing ever. It's
be grateful. Like, I know a lot of people say, no, my life's not great, but there is one thing. See, if you just grasp that one thing, that's good.
Always something.
Just taking the time to find that, isn't it?
That's what we always say in the mindfulness. It's like when we're doing gratitude with our courses, is when we're doing these gratitude lists, I always say, when you wake up in the morning, just say, I'm grateful for having air in my lungs this morning, or I'm grateful for another day. And it's that way of that there is always something that we can try and find. It's very encouraging for.
Your feet touch the ground when you get out of your bed. Something to be grateful for,
Absolutely. And it might take time to come round to these kind of ways of thinking, but as you kind of said, the more we do these things, the more we get used to it.
You do get used to it.
It just takes time to be patient with yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how can people find out about these groups that you are running? Are they on social media, on your website?
Yeah, they're on our website and all our social medias, yep.
Brilliant. So it's Sakoon Mind, SAKOON.
Yep,
Sakoon.
Peaceful mind.
Sakoon in South Asian culture means peace, calm, tranquility. So that's why we got Sakoon. That's where it came from.
Okay. Yeah. And you'd mentioned earlier on as well in terms of the work that you do in the South Asian community. Is it exclusive to the South Asian community, or are you kind of branching out to
it's branching out to everyone.
Everyone's more than welcome. Everyone. It was the South Asian community we targeted because we've seen some patterns and some feedback, and the feedback where we were getting, but everyone's welcome. All our workshops, everyone's there. It's all the whole community. It's all mixed. It's everything. It's really good because it's helping all cultures getting together, getting to know other cultures as well. I mean, even for me and Sandy, we've found a lot of new stuff that we probably would never have known if we just stuck to our own culture. So because in some culture, they're not even the mental health topic doesn't even come up. They just put you to the side. Oh, there must be something wrong with you because you're not. And people don't speak up or say about it because they don't want anyone to think anything wrong about them, and that's not
that stigma aspect again, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And whereabouts is it you are running? I think it's North Lanarkshire. You're kind of operating in just now.
At the moment, yeah.
At the moment, a wee teaser there, Tash. Is that something you're thinking about expanding on?
We're definitely expanding. Yeah, we are.
Okay,
absolutely. It's the feedback and we didn't expect all that, but it's absolutely been amazing, and we're just like this is good. This is what we wanted. We always said at the start, if we can help that one soul and get that word out, that's it. But we've helped so many people so far. We so don't even grateful. So many people are contacting us, and where we thought at the beginning that we would need to go and find people, but it's not been like that. It's been great. We used to talk about we'll take our time, and we'll put it in. We'll put it like this, and we'll put it into courses and things like that. And it's just been
we've just been pushed in the deep end.
Absolutely.
We are so sometimes out of our comfort zones. We used to always be quite shy. I think we still are sometimes, but we just get pushed in, go and do that, and we're like, okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's the universe. The universe wants it. The universe knows this is needed. So I just feel sometimes the universe is just working in our
telling you to get out there.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
It sounds brilliant, the stuff you're doing. I'm excited to see you kind of grow as well, and hopefully we can see more of each other. I know, the more you're talking about it,
you're definitely coming to the next Triensmos event, definitely.
Absolutely. So are there any kind of dreams for the charity moving forward? You spoke about kind of branching out into different potential council regions, different areas in Scotland.
We do have a lot of plans, but we don't want to say too much.
I've tried to get out, but we're standing for them. I appreciate that. So I noticed on your website as well, there's thing for volunteers. Is that something you're looking for volunteers to help out?
Yeah, we at the moment the events that we had, we've just done them ourselves, and the volunteers have been our friends, like just family and friends. We've just told them, so we do have, but we are looking for volunteers if anybody wants to come and join and stuff, and we're collaborating with a lot of other charities as well. Yeah. So
fantastic, and again, it's about getting in touch with yourselves. And I noticed on your website you've got lovely kind of personal statements about the three
our journey.
I think that's really important for people to kind of make that contact before actually speaking with yourself, to know who it is they're going to be speaking with. And I think that was really powerful. It was nice. That was a nice touch, I thought.
Absolutely, that was.
Yeah, we thought we had to put something out there about ourselves,
and it just gives individuals that come to our site, it just gives them that the comfort, and that they can be open and relax, and that they know that we have been through it and what it feels like and things like that. It's just to give them that lived experiences as well, three of us. So we can relate to, we all three of us have been through all different stuff, so we can relate to quite a majority of people.
And it's going to kind of give that back now.
Absolutely. Peer support is so powerful.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming in and speaking with us today.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. We're grateful.
Thanks, Andy. So thanks for coming and speaking with me today about your journey with LAMH. Thank you. We really appreciate you getting the feedback.
No problem.
Whenever we can. First of all, I'll start by asking, what are the benefits that you've been able to take away from working with LAMH?
Just how to live differently, how to deal with my thoughts. It's going to be okay. Processing the thoughts that don't need to be there.
Okay.
Living in the moment is a big thing. Always been a big thing, living in the moment, and how to focus on being a better person every day.
Because you'd said that as well throughout your time with us, it's when your mind's wandering off from...
Just try to bring yourself back to this present moment, no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Instead of having the thoughts 3 weeks ago or 3 weeks ahead, just focus on what's happening now, rather than what's going to happen or what has happened. So it's about now, living now.
Yeah. So what support did you engage with the service to help you get to that point of understanding?
So it was the one-to-one. I've been meeting every week, and I've loved every minute of it. Just the talking about everything and not being judged. So the one-to-one's made a massive difference.
Fantastic. And what were you looking to originally get out of working with the service?
To see a clearer picture, because I was very in a dark place, really, really dark place that I never thought there was a way out, and I knew I had to get help. Eventually, I was suicidal. I'll be honest, I was suicidal, and I just wanted to be a better version that I knew I could be.
And how do you feel kind of after working with the service in terms of working towards that outcome? Is it something you've achieved, you're currently working towards?
I feel overachieved, but I feel like I've achieved more than... At the beginning, it was more than what I deserved, I think. Yeah. But now it's like I'm ready to take the next step. And as I've said, the first day of the rest of my life.
So how confident do you feel maintaining your well-being out with the service now?
100%, because I will continue to live in the present moment, and I live every moment in the moment, if that makes sense. I just want to be waking up every day and having that moment to live. So just to have that clearer view when you open your eyes in the morning.
No, it's a really inspiring story. It's been an honour to be part of that journey with yourself.
And yourself. Without LAMH, as I've said a few times in my sessions, I don't know where I would be. And LAMH and Jamie have saved my life. I'm getting upset. Literally saved my life. I got to a point, nothing made sense. I couldn't even get out of bed in the morning. And the privilege of meeting yourself and listening to the podcasts, which are amazing, and I recommend anybody to listen to them. They're just so inspiring, and you hear people's stories, and it's changed my life. And today I'm so happy to be alive. I'm really happy to be alive. It's just absolutely insane, the help that I've had. The journey's been incredible, and nothing's black. It's the world is colourful again.
So honestly, it touches me every time you talk about it. It's so important. We're so blessed to have been part of that journey and to help you and see where you are today. And, we've spoke about, it's not an overnight thing with mental health, but you feel more confident with the tools.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Before I let you go, Sam, is there anything else that you'd like to share about your experience with the service for anyone who is thinking about being referred in?
Don't say no. grip it with everything that you have in your life, like fight the biggest fight possible, because I did. Like, I fought for my life, and it's been probably the best fight I've ever had. I don't win fight, I don't lose fights, I don't win fights, but I've won this fight, and I would recommend anybody that's struggling, if you get that wee tick in your head that's saying, right, I can't do it on my own, go to your GP, phone LAMH, get that referral done, and it will make a massive difference. You too will see colour in your life. Give it a chance, and it's been the best over 8 weeks that I've ever lived, and it will change you as a person, and it will change everybody around about you. You see life so different. So just take the opportunity and go for it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That was so good. Well, that was really informative, Lucy, wasn't it? That we had Taj and Sandeep in from Sakoon Mind talking about their charity based in North Lanarkshire. I liked that. I enjoyed that. It was really nice, interesting hearing about the work that they're doing in the community.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I was thinking the other day, it's unbelievable. There's so much going on in our communities and we have no idea what's going on, even as, it's part of our job to do it and we get to go find out all these things. But, your everyday person isn't aware of all the good things that are happening in our community.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been a positive in starting the podcast, hearing from different people, different services, and using this as a platform to spread the word. Before we finish off, Lucy, I know in our service, when we meet with people, we have some helpful grounding strategies that can be useful in our toolbox. I know Sandeep and Taj spoke about a lot of coping strategies they like to use themselves and also allow others to be aware of. I know we've got, on a short amount of time, we'd be here all day. We spoke about all the coping strategies. Have you got any kind of tips, any suggestions for things that are available to us if we're ever entering potential stressful situations?
Yeah, I feel like I could talk about this forever, so yes. I'll try and concise it. But there's loads of kind of grounding strategies and coping strategies that are available online. They can range from breathing exercises such as, box breathing, mind distractions, mindfulness meditations. There's loads of websites, podcasts and so on and so forth out there. And they'll kind of help you to gain valuable insights and practical tools to help you build resilience to navigate stress more effectively. I think when you're talking to people about your mental health and about your stress, it's important to remember it's not a kind of one size fits all approach. It's about finding something that works for you, and something that works for me might not work for Jamie and vice versa. So if you do try one of these and you find that maybe you're overthinking it, just take a breath, check in with yourself and try a different one. There's also NHS Inform.
Yeah, NHS Inform, that's what I was going to go in to talk about there. There's actually a really helpful self-help guide available on that website. It includes ways to cope with anxiety, depression, panic, self-esteem, and that's just to name a few. I know online can be a bit tricky. I know people aren't always comfortable with that aspect. They maybe find that difficulty in connecting with it, but it's a really thorough self-help guide, and it contains lots of information regarding topics in general, but it can also look at how we can work by taking over how we think and how we feel, taking that sense of control back. So it does take a bit more of a CBT approach, where it discusses ways to address and manage these emotions. It covers many strategies that Lucy had mentioned, ones that Sandeep and Taj had mentioned as well. So yeah, they're all out there. It's just about kind of tapping into them and finding what works for you. So again, please note that these are coping strategies. We're not looking to necessarily stop the emotions or stop things from happening in the first place. It's mainly about managing. I think that's one of the things, Lucy, isn't it? A lot of times stressful situations happen out with our control.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's, we can't plan for every day, but if we've got that toolbox that we can reach into, so when things do happen, we can go, right, I've got a way of dealing with this, or I've got a way of making this easier for me to go through, because we can't control the things that happen out with what we're doing. Life is going to come at you sometimes, and it's about having your own toolbox, and you can build that from the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's that hard hat analogy that we referred to earlier on. It's coming back out again. Where's your hard hat? Get into the cupboard, dust it down, get the cobwebs off it, and stick it on before leaving your bed in the morning, before leaving the house, making sure you're equipped to deal with the day ahead. So what we'll do with that self-help website that we spoke about there, we'll attach a link to that in the description of the podcast. So if you can, make some time to have a wee look at that. The strategies are situational and person dependent, but it's all a personal journey. It's all about finding what works for you, and again, finding these things out about yourself. So hopefully that has been helpful today, and not too stressful listening to our voices for half an hour. We're always playing our part by addressing the stigma of mental health, and today we've looked to normalise that stress, discuss it a wee bit more at length, looking at some coping strategies, and obviously we've had some great guests on today from Sakoon Mind, allowing that stress, acknowledging the worry is going to happen, but it doesn't have to take over our lives. So if we're able to notice more frequently, the more natural hopefully this starts to become. We're recognising those early warning symptoms to then manage them before they start to become too overwhelming for us. So yeah, over to you. Listen back to this episode, pick any of the tools out that we've mentioned, that we've spoke about. Look to get back into that sense of control over your thoughts and feelings. Again, we'll thank our guests from Sakoon Mind, and also those who agreed to share their personal stories on the podcast, whether that be ones in the past or whether it be the one that you've heard today as well. Truly inspiring stories. Honestly, I've been so lucky to meet these people throughout my time at LAMH, and it never fails to put a smile on my face. Never smells. That's not two good words to put together there. It happens. I'm not going to get stressed about it. I'm going to do some box breathing.
Oh, smooth. No, definitely. I think the fact that we get to meet so many people, at these networking events or having them in the podcast or just the people that we work with in general, it's so nice to get to meet such, a range of people that we may never have came across if we hadn't taken these brilliant jobs. Absolutely. Well, thanks again to yourself, Lucy, as well for filling in today. No problem. What I would say is obviously you can find the podcast on Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, but also make sure to check out LAMH on Instagram and Facebook as well, keeping up to date with, what's going on over on our socials. We're still out there, we're not going anywhere. Okay? And that's a wrap for today's episode. As always, stay safe, take care of yourself and each other, and we'll catch you next time. Bye. Bye.